What are we gonna build next?
Okay, so time out at Big D. We're gonna build shaker flat panel doors.
Okay.
Okay, using the system. But what I want to talk about, we're gonna be using the Domino extensively.
Okay.
And I'm gonna brag a little. I've been using this for about 14 years, and I've learned a lot about this machine.
Very cool.
Okay, to the point where I'm going to cover the 4 basic rules or basic laws of using the Domino joiner. But here's what's really cool about it. They're basic woodworking tips. It's basic woodworking 101, okay? And we're gonna cover them right now and get you up to speed on the Domino joiner.
Sounds good.
Woohoo!
Rule number 1.
And this is, we're gonna put these 2 pieces of 3/4 plywood together, okay? Just as an exercise. And understanding how to orientate the machine to the wood.
Gotcha.
Okay? And understanding the basics. So rule number 1 is always work off the consecutive faces. In other words, we're going to be putting domino mortises in here. We're going to put a 5x30 domino in there. I'm just going to reach back here and get a domino real quick. Okay? 5 being the thickness, 30 being the length. Okay? It's pretty simple stuff.
Sure.
If you understand it. Okay? But the thing about it is, if it's, let's just pretend there's other ways of joining this, okay? Like using a biscuit, using a dowel.
Oh boy.
Using a spline. There's 100 ways to do woodworking joinery, okay? So it doesn't matter, and this is what we have to wrap your head around, okay? It doesn't matter if it's exactly in the center.
Oh,
you want
people complain about that. Oh, I want to be in the center. I want to be in the center.
You want to get it close, but it doesn't have to be. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So it's pretty simple. The basic setup of the machine is I'm just going to label this so you know. 3/4 for your head is roughly 20 millimeter. Okay. It's actually a little bit less, but who cares? Okay. Now on the machine, when we look at it, I've labeled this before, but I'll label it again. This is the base. This square part, and this part here is the plate. Okay?
Base and the plate.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's exactly in the center, as long as, rule number 1, I finally got around to it, is always orientate the domino joiner on the same face that you want to bring it in even.
So it doesn't matter where it ends up here, as long as we start on the same face. Gold.
You got it. So we always do this, and here's a little bit of another tip for you. I always mark it like this. Okay. Did I ever show you a picture of my ex? Okay. But also, another tip is if you just want to mark that face, but this is the direction we're going to carry the joiner.
Okay.
Pretty simple?
Pretty simple.
Okay. So our plate is going to rest on this consecutive face. Okay. That's rule number 1.
Rule number 2.
Hey, so what's number 2?
You're funny. Woohoo! Okay, so remember I said that we're gonna set the height of the plate. Okay, so there's your lever there. I put 20 in the window. Okay. Now, here's the important part to all of this. I've seen it so many times where someone will go, "Oh, look, see how I got it on there? It's really not setting on there." If I turn it over, you'll see.
Okay.
Okay, this isn't really 20 millimeters, basically 18 millimeter. Okay, so if you were going like this, your reference now becomes the base, not the plate. So to ensure, there's a couple of ways of doing this, but to ensure that you are utilizing that plate sitting flush on that face, you can put a couple clamps in there.
Okay.
So that the plate sits on there like this with clamps. But what I like, just because I have it, I use the Vaxis, and that puts us in the perfect position to hook up the domino.
Boom.
Okay?
Rule number 3.
All right, Sedge, what's rule number 3?
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to take the machine. You know how to use it, D.
Yep.
Okay, take the machine. You're going to use the flap, and you're going to position it from your start point, right?
Yep.
Okay, so time out.
Okay.
Okay, So what I'm going to tell you is it's exactly how I used to hold it, how I used to use it.
Okay.
Okay? Where, and just,
Show me.
I'll show you. I used to go like this. And I said, what am I looking at? I'm not looking at anything, okay? I used to grab it like this, okay? And I was getting joints that were coming together like this and like this. I was putting unnecessary pressure on it, whether down or more so to compensate it, I would grab it back here. Okay, so the rule is plunge in line.
Okay.
Okay, don't hunch up on it. Okay, you don't hunch. You don't have to look at it like this. If you need to, I usually just look through here if I'm referencing a line on that cursor.
Okay.
Okay, I have big shoulders and I would inadvertently lift it.
That makes sense.
Okay, and that's what I've been teaching people for 13, 14 years now on how to use this. And I usually see people go, oh yeah, so what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you grab that.
Okay.
And let's do it. There you go.
And we're referencing off the flap.
And the number one thing to do is just remember this. Just kick back and relax when you're using this. The machine's doing all of it. It's super duper safe. Okay, so
plunge in line and let the machine do the work.
Plunge in line and let the machine do the work.
Rule number 4.
All right, Sedge, what's rule number 4?
Okay. You already did it. When you did that plunge, I didn't hear any chatter.
No chatter.
Okay, thank you for the, what is the translation there? Okay. It's actually chatter.
Chatter.
Okay. Not on plywood a lot of the times, but on hardwood, a lot. If you hear chatter as you're plunging, you gotta slow your speed down.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna step through this one. I'm just gonna grab this piece. You did your mortise there, okay? It's 15 and 15, absolutely perfect, okay? Just like that, see that? No wiggle room because we use tight. Okay, I'm gonna put this one on here, like this. Okay, just like that. And I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna turn it on. So, rule number 4, God, I'm long-winded, is plunge at a steady rate so you don't hear chatter. If you plunge too quick, the machine will climb cut. Okay, and you'll have a little bit of play here. Not here, because you can control it with the lateral play adjustment, because sometimes you need that for assembly. But you'll see how it's nice and tight like that?
Yep.
If it's not nice and tight, you've lost glue line. You've lost your wood joinery.
Oh, okay.
Follow? So that's why you plunge it at a steady rate so you don't climb cut to give you slop that way. The dominoes themselves, the tenons don't shrink. Okay? So what I'm gonna have you do is let's do another one from this side.
From this side, okay.
And see, you don't have to think about it because hey, look, you have you know exactly where to do that. So
we got all our marks.
So let's combine all 4. There you go. And if we look at it, I'm just going to release it. Oh my God. See that? That's about the best mortise I've ever seen. Oh. Okay, so a quick summary on this. This is the telltale right here. Look, we wanted this to be flush. So as I put it together, it's flush here. We use the flaps to reference, so it's perfect there. There's no tilt on this way and this way, or yaw. Absolutely perfect. And let's just go through it one more time. Always work off the same reference face.
Yep.
Number 2 is what?
Plunge in line.
Okay, or that could be 3.
Oh,
no, but 2 is work off the table.
Off the
3,
table.
Plunge in line. And 4?
Plunge at a steady rate.
So as we always surmise this,
be positive
and stay shy.